Hi, this is Mina from Midnight Astrology. I'm back with another sun video for you guys. I'm very excited today because we will be talking about the one and only Sun in Virgo. And I'm a big admirer of Virgo Suns because you are my opposite. You're everything I wish I could be. You are very intelligent and of this world, very practical, but in the best way possible. And I admire you, like I said. So let's get into it. What does your sun mean in your birth chart? Your sun is your biggest, brightest star. It's an energy that's meant to be seen, visible to other people. It's not meant to be hidden. Even if your sun is in the 8th or 12th house, it's still meant to shine through the water or the darkness, okay? There are steps you could take to make that happen and to unblock the solar energies inside you. And it's so worth it, you guys, because the sun, honoring our sun's needs and desires is often a huge pathway to happiness because it's a huge energy in our charts and we're meant to be known and recognized for it. So your sun is in Virgo. What does that say about you? Well, your sun is ruled by Mercury, the tiny planet of intellectual speed and communication. Basically, Mercury explains everything that goes on in our minds and comes out of our mouths. That's what Mercury is. It explains how we communicate and how we think and what we do with what we think and what we say. All of those components. And it is of the mutable quality, which means that it is uncontainable energy going all over the place. It also means it's very versatile and changeable. Of the element Earth, which is pretty interesting. Earth is so stable, how can it be mutable? Well, if you put all the symbols together, so we got a sun ruled by Mercury, of mutable quality, Earth, it means that you are an extreme mental analyzer of all things connected to Earth, all things practical, all things that you can organize and decipher, interpret with your earthly senses. Everything that you could touch, feel, see, and smell, you are going to interpret and analyze with the power of Mercury backing you. It means that you're capable of reaching great great intellectual heights with this energy. It's pretty incredible. You're also symbolized by the Virgin, which is a pretty perfect symbol. When we think of a virgin, we think of something untouched, pure. And it's also just like when we see the image of the Virgin, it looks like the Virgin just woke up and looked so perfect and innocent. But we all know with Virgo that your end product, you want to look like a virgin. You want it to look seamlessly perfect. But there's a lot of steps that you have to go through to get to that point. But that's not what everyone sees. Everyone sees your perfect finished project. They don't see the hours upon hours of work you have to do. And this is really what distinguishes you from Gemini, your other Mercury Sun brother. Gemini is ruled by air, which is a completely different element. It is also mutable, but it's more of an idea. Like Gemini are more idea people, and they have quick, killer, and intellectual instincts. You guys have the same intellectual instincts like Gemini, but you are fact checkers and verifiers. So even with yourself, even if you know that you're probably right about something, you're going to want to verify that you're right and back it up with research. So you're just extreme analyzers. You don't want to just trust your instinct. That's like way too Pisces. You want to verify things you think with hours of research, basically. You want to be able to explain what you do and what you think with precision. You're a very precise sign. And that is why you're a way more thorough ruled Mercury Sun than Gemini is. You're super thorough and you go the distance intellectually. You guys are self-improving all the time. You always believe that there's something you can do to improve yourself in pretty much every single category of your life, because you guys are just, your brains are always on. Like, I think this way with Gemini too, but especially Virgo Sun people, your brains are like hot. And yes, they're attractive, but what I mean is that They're like a overworked computer. They're just on and grinding and grinding and grinding, working, working, working. And eventually, like all machines, you short out sometimes because you're just always mentally on and way too aware, way too eyes wide open. Like no Neptune, no fantasy to kind of break up the very intense intellectual parts of life. So this is also what makes you like very how do I say this? Sensitive to stimulus, like physical stimulus, like loud jarring noises, gum chewing. I know you guys hate gum chewing. Any like thing like that can throw your mind off its tracks, and you have to realign yourself. Well, thank God you're mutable, because you can be versatile and realign yourself. It just takes a lot of effort. So Virgos, make sure if you're studying that you find that quiet environment, or you can somehow tune it out of your mind. I know that's so hard for you guys, but you gotta learn how to do that. So I mentioned that you're always self-improving, like you're the self-help sign. You are probably you and Capricorns mostly are super benefiting from YouTube and how-to videos, self-help books. You're probably the ones utilizing these resources the most, and you're also the ones making them. And that all stems from, obviously, you wanting to be this perfect symbolic creature. You want a perfect mind, you want perfect output. But it also comes from you being very self-critical. So self-critical. That's where it starts, you guys. Virgos, yes, they're critical of other people, but it all starts with them being very hard on themselves. And that's why they sometimes like extend that to other people, because that's just how they live their life, and they don't really see what's wrong with it all the time. So, and the way you can balance this critical nature of yours is you really need like to put your mind to work. And I know that's already hard at work, but not only do you need like a routine, I've seen tons of Virgos without routines, you guys, and it just is never that great of a thing. You always need a routine, because you're mutable earth, and that can get very disorganized. And I know you guys don't like disorganization, even messy Virgos. I know that they are secretly dying. They don't like being messy. They don't like clutter everywhere, and they certainly don't like that in their minds. So you need to like put yourself on a routine. And I'm not saying like a rigid Virgo routine. A routine. And definitely, you guys, I know this is weird, like I'm not doing an Aries Sun video, but I do think that you guys benefit from exercise, because it's almost like you're shutting your brain up when you're running, and it just like, it's a way for you to turn your brain off without the use of drugs. I actually know a lot of Virgo potheads, and I think that's just because they have to force their minds to turn off, because it's just not going to turn off without some help. And that's totally understandable. But maybe like if you don't want to go the drug route, you can exercise, like running. Like if you're running, like you don't have time to Virgo too much up there. You're just focused on running. You know, that could be anything. Playing Animal Crossing. Anything. Like you need to find something that kind of chills you out. That's like the first step. Then, look at me, I'm all trying to be Virgo, giving you steps. Then the second step I would say is that you definitely need defined projects. Otherwise, you're just going to over Virgo everything. From brushing your teeth, to washing your face, to how you make your bed, on and on and on and on. It will never end. You guys don't stop. And it's because I feel sorry for you, because your biggest gem is also your biggest pain. You can reach amazing heights with this overpowered Mercury, but it can also be like what does you in too. So you really need to put your mental health before anything and anyone. And I know you guys are selfless, just like Pisces. You're so service oriented. You want to help people, but you can't. I know this sounds so generic, but you really do need to help yourself first, because your minds are just going to short out on you, and you're not going to reach the heights you want to reach. You're not going to help the people you want to help. You're not going to help yourself how you want to help yourself. So this is super important. So when you have projects, a healthy amount of projects, because you can't over Virgo everything. There's just not enough hours in the day, guys, and you just don't have enough, there's not enough like brain power to just do that all the time. We gotta sleep. So look at me, Pisces, talking about sleeping. By balancing these things, by giving this Mercury like some time off with whatever you have to do to force your mind off, and the projects, that's going to maybe help you with critiquing other people. Because I notice that when Virgos aren't like organizing their minds and thought processes properly, when they're not taking care of themselves, that's when they're more likely to aggressively critique people. And even though it's mostly coming, you guys, 99% of the time they're just trying to help, but you know, people just don't care. Like, they don't want to hear, they don't want to be critiqued all the time, you know. That's just reality. No one wants to be critiqued. Most people don't want to be critiqued, you know, even other Virgos. Like, I've seen two Virgos go at each other like beasts. Like, so even if a Virgo, another fellow Virgo doesn't want it, you know, you just can't guarantee who's going to be receptive to that. And then you're just going to cause a bunch of weird, wonky, bad feelings, and that's just more stress for you guys, and you already stress yourselves out enough. You don't need that. And you know, this really shows that you're growing towards Libra, which Libra is all about balance and social interactions. And in terms of people, you kind of have to balance your mind, and your mind directed at yourself and your mind directed at other people. You have to balance how you deal with yourself. You need to be kinder with yourself. You need to, you know, take care of your health. You need to put yourself first. And then if you do that, I think that you can maybe have that mental space, because you guys can get cluttered mentally. You can have that mental space and relaxation that you need to kind of like organize your mind. You guys have to really, it all starts with your mind. If you can organize your mind and make it that beautiful uncluttered space, then maybe you'll have the energy to mimic that in your outside world. Because it's really important, you guys. Like, again, you're not Pisces, but just like Pisces is very energy sensitive to other people, you're very like sensory and earthly sensitive. So if you're in a very disorganized room, it's just gonna hurt your brain, literally. You need to mimic inside what you want outside, vice versa, that mutual give and take, mirroring. So definitely put yourselves first in that way, and I think you'll be able to move towards Libra and more fairness in dealing with other people. Really asking yourselves, like, you know, why do I want to give people advice that they don't want? And you guys, your advice is golden. Like, that's how you make money. You're the self-help gurus. You're the super popular YouTubers. I'm sure there's tons of Virgo, probably makeup girls, YouTubers making money. So if people don't want your advice, and you could probably make money off of that advice, like, why are you giving it away for free anyway? Like, let's just think of it that way. Don't give away your mental gold for free to people who don't want to hear it. You know, if you know someone wants to hear it, I mean, that's on you. If you want to be service oriented, I know you are, but like, think of it from a practical way. Don't give away what makes you special for free. You're cheapening yourself, and you're just aggravating other people, and then you're going to aggravate yourself, and then your neurons and synapses are just going to break and get overheated. And really, Virgo, Libra is kind of calling you towards balance in everything you do, you know, because your mind can be a very imbalanced place, because it's always going and going and going, and that's just not practical, and it's not balanced at all. So think of it like that. Libra is wanting you, because it's a universal energy, it's wanting you to be universally balanced in your social interactions and your mental, you know, capacities and everything you do, calling for balance. Now, I'm scared even saying that, because like the word balance and Virgo together just scares me, because Virgos can just be like, I don't want to use the word OCD lightly, but like they could just go into hyperdrive. Like if they have an objective, like a goal to reach, let's just say, oh, I have to be balanced, and they're just gonna sometimes just over Virgo that even. Like, you have to seriously, guys, seriously find a balance, like to where you're just not going overdrive all the time and burning yourself out continually over and over again. Virgo is a very health-centered sign, you guys, physically mostly, and they should be mentally as well, but I find that they're extremely, well, they're probably just both. They're just concerned with health either way, and I just hope that it's mental health too. But to the point where every Virgo is going through a vegan spell, I'm convinced. I think Pisces too, but Pisces does it for emotional reasons. Virgo is more so doing it for health, actual physical health benefits. Also, you might avoid certain ingredients and products because you don't want to use toxic things. You're just very picky and sensitive to all things earth, because that's that mutual quality, that kind of nervous earth. You don't want to put something on your body or in your body that you're not sure is going to benefit you, because Virgos just hate. Think about it, their minds are already very active, so the last thing they want is to be physically ill as well. This is why they're so focused on that. And Virgos, by all means, continue to be focused on your health. That's a great thing. In terms of Virgo artists, you guys, like I said, Virgo doesn't do casual, so anything Virgo does, even if it's outside of art, just anything, like they can't, like I said, they can't do it casual, so that often means that they don't have fun while they do things that are seemingly fun. So you would, when you think of like an artist and how they're just serene when they're painting and they're coloring and they're drawing, Virgo is the true tortured artist, like Frankenstein. They are not relaxed. They're not in a state of relaxation when they're doing these things that they care about, because if they care about it, then the mind is on and it's on fire. So that is not going to be them happily. That's going to be them like tortured artistry. And that's why it's like, it's really hard for Virgo to chill out and have fun with things that they care about. And I think this can translate to relationships too, you guys. Like, the more they care about you, the more that you get into their minds, literally. And that's what like makes it really hard for them to like let loose and have fun if it's something that they care so much about, because they're so Mercury. They're like the serious Mercury, while Gemini can be like the more mischievous and fun Mercury. So it's really important for a Virgo person, a Virgo Sun, to learn how to relax a little and have fun. And I think what helps is kind of using people as you would drugs. Like, what I mean is, certain personalities can put a Virgo more at ease. And I think it's really important, Virgos, that you surround yourself with people that make you feel relaxed and that can help you seek that mental balance that you need, so you can let loose and have fun and not just be on 100 all the time. So guys, there's actually a book that I would hope that most Virgos would read sometime in their life, and it's called Frankenstein. I love this book. I feel like it's just like a Virgo parable. It's a classic for a reason, and I am ashamed to say that I was very late in the game in terms of reading this classic, but wow. Dr. Frankenstein, which is not the monster. Everyone thinks the monster is named Frankenstein, but it's not. It's simply referred to as a monster. But Frankenstein is the doctor, and I very much think this guy is like a Virgo Sun and maybe something Scorpio in there. But like, the whole story is about how he had so much hope and like happiness and drive to become like a supreme alchemist, Dr. Frankenstein. He wanted to uncover the mysteries of life and death, which I think is appropriate. If you think about Virgo being opposite from Pisces, Pisces just has faith and has a special connection to all things like unknown and the, you know, afterlife type of things, heavens, spirituality, or you know what I'm trying to say. Virgo, I can see it being like, okay, I want to verify these things. So this guy's just really driven to verify in a very Virgo way all the mysteries of life and death. Like, how are they intertwined? Like, he wanted to know it in an exact Virgo way. So, you know, he was a normal guy. You know, being intellectual was like his Virgo hobby, and he was a very good student. But he had a love. He was very much in love and looking forward to getting married. And you guys, he did get married. However, he over-Virgoed himself. He was so obsessed with his project of creating a life form, which became the monster. He wanted to basically become God and create a life, be a supreme alchemist. And he just had that Virgo tunnel vision. He did not see anything else in his life. He was just working on this project day and night, to where, I mean, his fiance practically didn't exist to him. And this is how you guys can get when you start a project. Sometimes you can just become so involved in it that it's hard for you. Again, balance keeps coming up because you're growing into Libra. It's hard for you to balance like this baby of yours, this project that you want to be precise and perfect when it's out in the world, and all the other components in your life. And this is often the reason why you do see messy Virgos and, you know, dirty looking Virgos, because there's just not enough hours in the day, guys. So they might devote their hours to other projects that don't involve the typical qualities that we associate Virgo with, like smelling good, being clean, having a clean house. They might just be throwing all of that obsessive mental mercurial energy at a project, just like Dr. Frankenstein. And the funny thing is, like, right when Dr. Frankenstein was successful, when the monster woke up, and I've seen this happen with Virgos, like, he just instantly hated it. He just regretted all the hours he spent on it, and he was not happy. He rejected the monster immediately, thought it was just hideous, couldn't understand why he did that. And like, sometimes Virgos can be like this. They can, like, really be devoted to a project to the point where, like I said, they have that Virgo tunnel vision, but it's like they burn out mentally and they almost forget why they started doing something, and they end up like not even liking it. And maybe they don't like it because their standards are just so high, like what could possibly reach that? I think a lot of Virgo people, even artists, anything, they just sometimes are very salty about their finished products, because it's like Virgos just really crave, especially Virgo Suns, because Sun is just very aggressive. So even though the Virgo Moon could do this, Virgo Moon is a little bit softer of an energy, but the Sun is just like, rawr, it's really aggressive. So it just wants it so bad. Like, Virgos like get so pissed off when they're doing a project and they know exactly up here what to do, but their body isn't cooperating. Like, maybe they're drawing and they know the type of line they need to make, but the mechanics, like their hands aren't doing what they need. Like, Virgos can just get very angry, like, in the process of these projects, because the brains are just hot, guys. You can't survive like this. I mean, they're so smart, but goodness, this is just, it's hard to watch a Virgo go down the Dr. Frankenstein route. But anyway, the monster ends up resenting Frankenstein because he thought Frankenstein was like his father, his god, and God's supposed to love you, right? Well, Frankenstein hated him, and it made the monster very resentful. And in a nutshell, the monster ends up ruining Frankenstein's life, kills his wife. It just is his undoing, basically. So you could say, who's the monster really? Is it Frankenstein for even creating this monster and, you know, going all the way and then not committing? Because all mutable energy, all the signs that are mutable have issues with commitment. Even Virgo, which, you know, I would say Virgo is the one that, out of all the mutable signs, that is most likely to commit. But even Virgo has problems committing to all of these mental labors that they embark on. And to see how much hours and how much emotional connections and everything else that life has to offer outside of, like, everything Mercury. If you think, what is the opposite of Mercury? Well, it's Neptune and the moon. It's everything not logical, and it's like the color in the lines. Like, if you look at a coloring book, maybe the black lines, the outline is very Mercury, but everything that goes in between is very Neptune and the moon. And we need color in our life, guys, for happiness. All right. Thank you, geese, for scaring off all my Virgos. But anyway, but you guys need to understand that there's more to life than mercurial pursuits. And again, talking about balance. But anyway, Frankenstein's life's devastated, and like I said, who's the monster really? That's a big philosophical question of Frankenstein. Is the monster, or is Dr. Frankenstein the monster? You tell me, Virgo Suns, what do you think about that? Let me know in the comments. But it breaks my heart, you guys, especially as a Pisces. I've been close to many Virgo people, suns and moons, and I just see them like Frankenstein themselves over and over again, and they just miss out on all the parts of life that just light us up in color, give us color, and cool our brains off. You know, Neptune's kind of like a mental off switch, because it's all about fantasy and engaging in all things not real. And yes, that's pretty toxic to live your life like that on a daily basis, but you really do need to give yourself doses of this Neptune-y nonsensical stuff, Virgo, because I want you to thrive, and you're not going to thrive if you're just Frankensteining yourself over and over and over again. I don't want the monster to come to get you. I really do think the monster and Frankenstein, both of these are parts of Virgo, which is true to its mutual energy. So on you guys being obsessive with these projects and just like going the mental distance to the point where you forsake everything else in your life sometimes, it can kind of make you like, again, it feels like I'm talking about Aries, but it kind of makes you bad losers. Because when you engage in competitive things, Virgo, you're not just like an Aries that's just like, just do it. Life motto, just do it. You're not like any other more casual sign. You put so many earthly hours. Again, Earth has to do with time. You put so many hours, so if your things don't pan out, that's just like, not only is that mind crushing, it's soul crushing to you. It can really just break you down as a person, and you can lash out with anger. Like if you practice for hours and you went to play soccer and you lost your soccer game, like that is devastating for a Virgo. But guys, in those moments of anger where you're just like, ugh, I worked so hard and I have nothing to show for it, you have to remember that learning is a process, you guys, even for you, and that you're the self-improvement sign. Don't forget that. We can always forget what's so special about us, and this is what you forget about you. So take those losses and just improve upon them, you guys. Pick yourself up and don't be so hard on yourself. You need to be kinder to yourself like Libra wants you to be. And remember, you have grown away from kind of like the narcissism and egocentric parts of Leo. You're supposed to be a humble sign. Don't forget that part of you too. Okay, these geese are really starting to piss me off, and I'm not even a Virgo. But yes, you guys, you have to remember that above all else, you're humble, you're service-oriented, and you are kind people too, Virgo. Like, yes, Virgo kindness is not like traditional. They can be kind of very, how do I say, plain with words. Like, they just don't know how to comfort you in that moon or Neptune-y way. But they're very sincere in their efforts, you guys. Like, the way you can break a Virgo's heart is if you don't give them a chance to be better. Like, when a Virgo messes up, they're instantly thinking of how they can be better for the next time, because they want to avoid messing up over and again. But if people just cut them off and don't give them the chance to bounce back, that's just like, that's like stabbing a Virgo in the heart, not giving them a chance to be better, because they're always wanting to be better. It's like such a beautiful and humble energy about Virgo. I just love you guys, I really do. So guys, be patient with your Virgos. You know, above all else, they try, and that's a lot more than a lot of other people can say. Not everyone's gonna try as hard for you as a Virgo. So definitely cut them some slack, because they have a very hard mission in life to balance their mental energies, and if they're trying for you, that's like them saying they love you. That's Virgo love language. But oh my god, can y'all please stop, Virgo women, stop over plucking your eyebrows. It's such a Virgo thing. I know that's random, but I just had to say it. Ooh, another thing about Virgo, guys. If you are close with a Virgo sun, even though Virgos are always self-improving, and you know, most of the time Virgos are pretty open to other people giving them practical advice, don't give them another worry. Be very careful. You have to really understand that if you give a Virgo another worry, that's just like giving them a number 700 on their already long to-do list in a short 24-hour day where we're only awake 12 hours of it. So be very selective of what worries you add on to a Virgo's plate, because once they hear something, they can't unhear it. They can't delude themselves. So they're going to be obsessing about this worry, you know, you gave them. It might not be right away, but it will hit them. So be very careful about giving these guys more worries. They are already stressed out enough most of the time. There's a certain level of Virgo amazingness that just no one can match in the zodiac. Just no one can match it. Artist Alex Gray, he did like the art for Tool, and he draws like anatomical people. What I mean is like people without skin, and you can see all the veins, and it's like he draws chakra points. It's just it's crazy precise, very realistic work, you guys. Denise's favorite at Puro Astrology, Nick Jonas, she loves Nick Jonas, and I do too. He is so cute, and he looks like he smells like the cleanest of soap. He looks so clean. I love clean Virgos. If you're a clean Virgo, I endorse you. Well, that's all I have, guys. Oh wait, Talia. I love Talia. She was Marimar, if you ever watched that telenovela. I can't think of specific songs other than Marimar, the theme song. But if you know any Talia songs that I should listen to, put them in the comments, because I'm just drawing a blank on the titles. You guys, I had so much fun doing this video. I hope you enjoyed it, being outside with the annoying geese. I'm sorry, Virgos, for that unwanted jarring noise. Let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear your experience with this sun sign, and I will be back with you shortly. If you haven't subscribed, again, go ahead and subscribe so we can keep this conversation going. I will see you in the next video. Bye!